Hello YouTube and welcome to this new video on Zenless Zone Zero. On today's program we are once again doing some Shiyu defense in patch 2.1 as it seems this patch is lasting forever. As you can see, I've already cleared critical nodes 1 through 6, though I have actually only had to clear 4 through 6 to be more precise, but those were relatively easy, so let's focus on the more difficult one, critical node 7. In terms of the buff that we have in Shiyu defense currently, it is as follows. For agents, electric anomaly build-up rate and physical anomaly build-up rate increase by 15% while attack increases by 15%. When hitting enemies affected by attribute anomaly, agents ignore 15% of their defense and deal 20% damage bonus. Now this buff is of course catered towards the characters that are currently on banner, which are Alice and Yanagi. Now let's talk about the enemies that we'll have to face. On the first half we have a rampant brute, a flame cancer, and a miasma walker archivore. I have to admit I do not remember that one, but given the fact that it's named Miasma Walker, I assume that as with any miasma creature, at some point it will pop up a miasmic shield, which you want to deplete using parries. Speaking of parries, if I recall correctly, the Rampant Brute has quite a few of those, but the Flame Canter, I have to admit I do not quite remember. Speaking of enemies that I can't remember, here are the enemies in the second half. We have two Pelicases. Pelikai? How do you say this in plural form? Anyway, the point is I don't quite remember them, but I have a vague feeling that I'm not going to like this fight. Very clearly, Anomaly reigns supreme in this Shiyu defense, and given the enemy's weaknesses being fire, physical in the first half and ice, ether in the second half, I think there are two obvious combos that you can use, one in each half. For the first half you can use Alice, Bernice and Yuzuha, and for the second half you can use Miyabi, Vivian and Astra for instance. Or you could go with yet another anomaly agent if you have one to spare. But these are not the only teams that could work. We also have Mono Physical for the first half with Alice, Jane and Yuzuha, or Mono Ice Miyabi with Miyabi, Lycon and Sokaku for the second half. Or even you could go with an Yixuan team, which is exactly what I'm going to do, as you can see the roster of character that I've already selected. Now I have to say that the easiest way to clear this would be to use my Evelyn team on the first half and my Miyabi team with Yanagi on the second half. But why would I make things easy for myself, and more importantly, I want my Alice to make her debut in Shiyu defense and in endgame content in general. So I am going to go with an Alice Yuzuha team in the first half with Astra as the third teammate, because the only anomaly agents that I have, other than Alice, are Miyabi and Yanagi. The problem is, Miyabi is a frost or ice agent and Yanagi is an electric agent, and the first half has resistances to both of these attributes. And I also could not think of a better support than Astra to help out Alice and Yuzuha on that half. As for their Bangbu, I actually pulled for Miss Esme. And in terms of the second half, because I'm using Yuzuha on the first half, I can't use my Miyanagi team, so I'm going with an Yixuan team. That being said, I did mention that Mono Ice Miyabi would work, and I do have Sokaku and Lycon built. I love Lycon, Sokaku not so much, which I've already stated in previous videos. And I am much more comfortable playing Yixuan. And quick side note, I am using Snap as the Bangbu for the second half. Now, let's do this. Post-recording Happy Al, also known as Editing Happy Al, once again here for the commentary that my past self gave up on. Just like in the previous video, I had to retry a few times, not as many times though, but still, and more importantly, in games such as Zenless Zone Zero or even Wuthering Waves, I find that it is easier for me to focus on the fight first and then comment later on. So here I am. For the first half, there isn't much to say about these enemies as they don't have any kind of particular mechanic you have to play around with. One thing worth mentioning, and well, I actually mentioned it earlier in the form of subtitles, I was wrong about the Miasma Walker. It does not get a shield, or not that I could see during my fight, but that makes things easier for us. As for me performing my rotations, now that I watch it back, I'm actually pretty proud as this was my first time using this team in Shiyu defense. However, you will notice that I switched between Alice and Yuzuha quite often, and in truth, you don't really need to do it as often as I do. I tried to temper myself, but the thing is, when you have Astra on the team, she will offer the possibility of a quick assist pretty frequently, and as soon as my bird brain sees the pop-up notification, my two brain cells absolutely want to click it. That being said, I will recommend that you still switch from Alice to Yuzuha during Alice's long hold animation. She will keep doing her attack and deal a lot of damage to the enemy, and in the meantime you can build some energy on Yuzuha to make sure that you never run out of her red/pink balls. Another little tip, in case you didn't know, you can use Alice's EX special to dodge enemy attacks, but that's not all. If you have enough energy, the EX special will not only trigger a perfect dodge, it will also grant you a bit of blade etiquette, which is the gauge that fills up beneath her HP bar. Of course, you want to fill it up to 3 full bars, and when you actually do fill it up, the bars will change color from blue to gold, and that is when you want to use her whole basic attack.
Witness the magic of music. Don't want to mess with me! My sword always points to victory. Come on! Don't be nervous! I see your weakness. Focus on the target. Time for a surprise! It's time to settle this! Let our souls resonate!
Now we start the fight that frustrated me to the point of making me stop yapping. Oh boy, if you've ever been on one of my streams, you'd know I love to yap, so when an enemy makes me stop talking, you know there is a problem. This is the half that I had to restart quite a few times because of the enemy's moveset. It is quite funny that I predicted it without even knowing it when I was talking about this fight in the team building section. Anyway, why are those two Pelicases annoying to fight, you may ask, if you've never fought them before? Well, as you will see, these Ethereals love to go invisible, teleport around you, and more importantly, get separated from each other. That's the main crux of the issue here, trying to get them to stick together as much as possible. The absolute ideal scenario, in my opinion, is to stun them both at the same time, so you can spend all of your resources and ultimate attacks while they both take more damage. Now, the stun window is less of a problem if you're using an anomaly team. I mean, taking advantage of it with an anomaly team is always beneficial, but it is not as crucial as it can be with a main DPS of the attack class, or I guess in Yixuan's case, she's a Rupture agent, but let's be honest, the Rupture class is just the attack class with a fancy new staff. Now for an additional piece of advice concerning these enemies' mechanics, when both enemies go invisible, one of them will attack you first with a 3-bladed attack, and then another slash attack relatively quickly after the 3-bladed attack, so watch out for that. They will do this twice in a row, and then they will perform a form of charge attack or hold attack, so keep that delay in mind to dodge it on time. After all of that, they will perform another attack that staggers you quite a bit, and as you can see, I failed to dodge that one. Also, generally speaking, when you attack one of them, the other will often teleport away, creating a bit of distance, to shoot you from afar, so watch out for that as well. Though after that ranged attack, it will teleport back closer to you, so if you position yourself properly and with a little bit of luck, that enemy will get close to the one that you were fighting.
Your fate is sealed! Swift yet still.
And there you go, we finally managed to beat it with these two teams, Alice, Yuzuha, Astra on the first half, Yixuan, Yinhu, and Fufu on the second half. Not gonna lie, my rotations weren't perfect, but I was getting quite frustrated, especially with the second half. Not because of my team, but because of the enemies. Now I remember why I had completely forgotten about these enemies. I think my brain chose to forget about them because of how annoying they are. Anyway, we managed to do it, we are going to get our rewards, and let's be happy about that. As mentioned, here are the rewards, all 300 polychromes if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, never mind, this is not Deadly Assault, this is Shiyu Defense, so we get 720. Nice. Now, as usual for the build section, I shall hide myself.
Senior!
And that was my clear of Zenless Zone Zero's Shiyu Defense patch 2.1 for the third time, I think. If you found this video enjoyable or helpful or entertaining in any way, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel as it helps keep the happy in Happy Owl TV. You can also leave a comment on how I could improve my runs, what teams you use to clear your Shiyu defense, or anything that you have on your mind. Now, if you want some more story-related content, I livestream on both Twitch and YouTube every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at 6 PM Central European Summer Time, and every Saturday at 4 PM Central European Summer Time. On that note, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video or the next livestream.